Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to American Reversion. How are you all today? Well, Donald didn't get arrested again, did he? What's going on there? So apparently, as you all probably have already heard, the district attorney up there was hiding hundreds of pages, up to 600 pages of exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory being a fancy word which means it would argue against his case, actually proves the innocence of the chargee, and they're not supposed to do that. See, it's part of the deal that a prosecutor needs to share exculpatory evidence with the defense. Well, you know, it's a Democrat, and it's a lefty, so we wouldn't expect fairness out of them, right? But they got caught. You know, probably what we're going to see in this is this whole case is going to fall apart, and they might, because there are some smart people on the left, they might disagree with us because they're wrong in their major beliefs. But it doesn't mean that they're stupid. And there probably are some over there that realize that, like some on our side have said, if Trump is arrested, it's almost going to assure a landslide for him in 2024, right back into the White House. Who knows? Maybe. I'll tell you one thing. I will warn you, and I've said this before. I will warn you. There are two people that the Democrats could run, and if they did, because of the ignorance of the American voting bloc, not just the ignorance, but the prejudice, the bias, which is ignorance, of this American voter would almost assure, well, I would almost say 99.9% would assure they would win, and that would be Michelle, O, and Oprah. You know, I know that's sad to say. It's horrible to say. It's shocking to say, right? To say that in America. But I'll guarantee you, and it might seem far-fetched, believe me, if the Dems ran either of those, they would win in a landslide. Why? Well, it's very simple, because the left, number one, is solid. They're solidified. The right is all over the place. The right would argue about, which half of the ham sandwich to eat. And so they're not. The right is not. They don't hold together. They will fight about everything. That's what happened this last time. I don't care what anybody says. I know they cheated. I know they did all that. But you know who to blame for the people, and I've said it before, and we need to keep at this. The ones to blame for that loss in 20 were the ones who proclaim to be conservative and didn't go vote. They weren't in a fight. If you lose the game, who do you blame? The other team who was fighting as hard as they can to win the game? Or your guys who wouldn't come out on the field and participate? Your guys who wouldn't catch the pass? You guys who wouldn't even show up? Who do you blame? I blame the ones that won't show up. They're the ones that sit back. I've had it with politics. They're all alike. You can't trust them. All politicians say whatever. So you would rather have what's going on now than Trump. That's what you're saying, because you voted against Trump by not voting. You voted for Biden. I hope that somebody who did that is listening to this and feels sufficiently corrected. But the rest of us, really, we can't let these people off. They were the ones at fault. You cannot blame your enemy for your loss, because the enemy is doing what you were trying to do. They're trying to win. I blame the people on our side that didn't show up. So that's the problem. If they ran either Oprah or Michelle O, they would be guaranteed a win. I don't care who the Republicans ran. Because, like I said, first off, the left is organized. They are solid behind. 85% of the women would vote for her, whoever her is. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a real, well, I'm not, who knows? I'm not getting into that one. 85% of the women would vote for a female presidential candidate. Oh, man, put both of them on there? Oh, two black females? How could you not vote for them? Because if you don't, you're a racist, right? Do you know how many mamby-pamby white men would vote for a black female? Because they themselves, the white males, feel that actually do feel weak. They feel weak. They feel, first off, they're ashamed of being white. They're ashamed of being males. They're ashamed of pretty much everything. They will do anything that a woman tells them, and if it's a black woman, extra points. And so they would. A majority of white men. Not you, not me. Okay, I get it. A majority, we're not talking about us. We're talking about what could happen. A majority would vote for a black female. You could probably put AOC up in that. Well, maybe not quite. That might be stretching it just a bit, but who knows? I wouldn't swear. Most of the black men would vote. Not all. Not my friends. They know the game. They know what's going on. The majority would. So you've got 95% of black females would vote for either Michelle or Oprah. Okay? Probably 90% of black men would. 80 to 85% of white women would vote for Michelle or Oprah. What percentage of white men would vote? We've got a lot more weak ones than strong ones. And even the ones who, well, yeah, they're weak because they don't want to have to go to the next neighborhood barbecue and admit that they voted for a white guy. So yeah, they would. I would call it 65%. Now, some of you may disagree. That's all right. Put it down here. Just don't call me an idiot. Just put down your views and support it. 60 to 65% of white men would vote for either Oprah or Michelle O. I know you don't know any of them, but I know. No, they would. They would. So you tell me who wins that one. That may be coming. They're looking at who could possibly, because all this stuff right now is helping Trump. He has shown he is a fighter. I don't care what you think of him as a person. He is a fighter, and he is smart, and he has run rings around these people. But even against him, they put up one of those two. It's over. They've got it. Okay. Now we are seeing some victories along the way here. We're seeing now that the courts have ruled that even Californians can have state-of-the-art guns, as they call them. Did you see that coach that was fired because he prayed before the games, and so they fired him, right? Yeah. Well, it turns out that he sued him, and he's won $2 million. Good. We're seeing more and more and more of these all over the place. We are seeing more decisions. We're seeing more Supreme Court and lower court decisions for constitutionality. It's great. We are seeing a reversion through the courts. We are seeing reversion in the House of Representatives. We are seeing reversion through so much of what's going on through the investigations. Here again, for those who don't think that politics matter, the proof of politics mattering is all around you. You need to raise your head up, see a little bit of it. That's what matters. The other side won because of politics. Our side lost because, like I said, too much of our team didn't show up. But we're seeing it, and then we're seeing other people. We're seeing people like Tulsi Gabbard, who she is. I tell you, I haven't heard anybody talk like her since Ronald Reagan. To be real honest, and yet when I put up a couple of things, even on this channel, about her, I got so much of, well, I just don't trust her. I don't trust her. I don't like the way that she feels about this or that or the other thing. So I won't vote. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Thank you all for Biden. Are you learning? Are you learning this? Are you starting to understand how important politics is? Because if we don't win the political battle, there's only one other kind of battle to fight. No sane person wants that. And none of the people who claim that they want it would show up for it. Just like they wouldn't show up to vote. Okay. Let's see what happens with this thing with Trump. Now they're pushing it off, right? Maybe next week. Tomorrow's Friday. They might do something, but I doubt it. They might use this weekend to just kind of slink back and pull in their horns, because they will want. I think if they're sure of their case, they will want a Monday morning arraignment. So I think Monday is probably the thing to look for. But they're getting all kinds of fire on this, and I think they're rethinking their position. So we'll see. You all let me know what you think about this. It's going to be interesting to watch. But remember, we're in the fight. You're either in the fight or you're not. And if you're not in the fight, you can stand over there and watch it, but you lost your right to express an opinion. Right? You really have. I mean, you're just somebody in the stands. You're not in the game, so you good ones out there, you ones who are paying attention. And by that I mean not just voting, but expressing yourselves. Expressing yourselves here in the comments. Expressing yourself on other channels that talk about this. Expressing yourself to your friends. Being in the fight, explaining these positions, fighting for it. Good for you, because America needs a reversion and it needs you to be a part of it. So thanks for being a part of it. I'll talk to you tomorrow, probably. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.